Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going to explore what makes certain places just entrepreneurial hotspots.
Yeah,
You know those areas where like innovation just seems to be in the air?
absolutely.
Have you ever wondered why that is?
Right?
Well, you're in for a treat
Yeah.
because we're going deep into these entrepreneurial ecosystems, not just what they are, but like how they actually work
Yeah.
and why understanding them could honestly be like your secret weapon
It really could be.
if you're in the space.
That's right. And we'll be looking at some fascinating research, too,
Okay.
on how to actually measure these ecosystems and get this,
Yeah,
the role that governments play in making them thrive.
I know, right? I always thought it was just about businesses
Right.
popping up, but it's way more than that.
It really is.
It's not just about, companies popping up. It's a
Yeah.
whole web of players.
It's a complex web.
Think of it like we're mapping the DNA of innovation.
Yeah.
We're going to uncover the hidden patterns of success.
Right.
So by the end of this deep dive, you'll know what factors make some regions just boom with startups
Absolutely.
and how to use that knowledge,
Right.
whether you're launching a business or investing
Right.
or just fascinated by how these ideas actually become reality.
Exactly.
So first things first,
Yeah.
we got to define what an entrepreneurial ecosystem even is.
Okay, so it's more than just a cluster of companies in one spot.
Right.
More than that.
It's like I
Yeah.
was thinking about it like a rainforest, right?
Yeah.
You've got all these different plants and animals,
Yeah.
and they all like depend on each other.
Right.
And it creates this like vibrant, interconnected system.
Exactly.
Or rainforest.
An entrepreneurial ecosystem is very similar.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's this complex web of interacting players,
Okay.
entrepreneurs, of course,
Yeah.
but then also you have established companies,
Right.
government agencies,
Oh, wow.
universities, research institutions, even the local community itself.
Wow. So it really is a whole ecosystem.
It is.
Everyone's involved.
And they all contribute to this dynamic environment
Okay.
where success can actually breed more success.
So like you get one cool startup and then
For
it
sure.
attracts all this talent.
Right.
And then that talent starts new ventures.
Yep,
And then investors see that.
that's right.
And then boom, the whole place is just buzzing.
Precisely. It's this self-reinforcing cycle.
Wow.
And understanding these dynamics is so important.
Yeah.
It can help you make smarter decisions, whether you're choosing like where to launch a business
Right.
or you're trying to predict the next like tech boom.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So, okay, one thing that I think is often overlooked
Yeah.
in these ecosystems is the role of government.
Yeah.
I always thought it was just about grants and tax breaks.
Right. A lot of people think that.
But the research we're looking at shows that it's a much bigger picture
It's way bigger than that.
than that.
The government's not just a bankroller. They're
Yeah.
more like an architect, shaping the entire playing field for innovation.
Got it.
And the research actually outlines 4 key roles
Okay.
that the government plays.
So it's more involved than I initially thought.
Yeah, much more.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's hear it.
So the first one is as a catalyst.
Okay.
So the government invests in initiatives that build a foundation
Okay.
for a thriving ecosystem.
Right.
So think things like funding for STEM education research grants for cutting-edge tech
Okay.
and programs like the Small Business Innovation Research
Mm-hmm.
or SBIR program.
SBIR.
Yeah.
That's a mouthful.
It is.
What does that program do?
So the SBIR program is specifically designed to support high-tech startups.
Okay.
It provides funding for research and development,
Got it.
which can be crucial in those early stages
Right.
when companies are working on these groundbreaking innovations.
So it's like giving them a boost to get their idea off the ground.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, and then there's the coordinator role.
Okay.
This is where the government steps in to align innovation policies
Okay.
across different levels, so from federal agencies down to state and local initiatives.
So they're like the conductor, making sure the whole orchestra is playing in sync.
That's a great way to put it.
Awesome.
It's about creating this cohesive and supportive environment
Got it.
where entrepreneurship can flourish.
Okay, cool.
And then we have the role of the certifier.
The certifier.
Yeah.
So is that like handing out gold stars for the best startups?
Well, not exactly gold stars,
Okay.
but you get the idea.
Okay.
So the government provides signals of quality and credibility
Okay.
that attract further investment and support.
Got it.
This can be through awarding grants, issuing patents, or even just like providing official recognition
Oh, okay.
to promising ventures.
So it's like a stamp of approval that
Yeah.
says, hey, you're legit.
Right.
Like, come invest in this.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then finally, we have the government as a customer.
The government is a customer.
Yeah, this one's often overlooked. But it's incredibly important, especially for those startups in niche or specialized fields.
So the government actually buys products and services from startups.
That's right.
Wow.
Government procurement contracts can be a massive market
That's so cool.
for innovative products and
Thought I
services.
never thought of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Think about everything that the government needs.
Oh, yeah, true.
We've got defense technology, healthcare solutions, educational software, infrastructure development,
The list goes on and on.
and on.
Wow.
So by supporting these innovative startups,
Yeah.
the government can address its own requirements and simultaneously stimulate economic growth.
So it's a win-win.
Exactly, a win-win.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Okay, but how does all this help our listeners?
that's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's something we'll explore more as we go deeper into this topic.
Okay.
But for now, just think about how this knowledge could give you a real advantage,
Okay.
even if you're not an entrepreneur yourself.
Okay. So, like, I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
Mm-hmm.
So if we understand where the government's focusing resources,
Right.
then we can kind of anticipate emerging trends
Exactly.
and identify promising investment opportunities
Yes.
and maybe even partners for our own ventures.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Okay, I see the light now. Good.
Good.
Awesome.
And don't forget about the opportunities for collaboration with government agencies.
Oh, right. Yeah.
There are grants, contracts, partnerships out there
Wow.
that so many people don't even know about.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So knowing how to navigate all of this
Right.
can be incredibly valuable.
So it's not just about understanding startups.
No.
It's understanding the whole ecosystem,
The whole thing.
including the government.
Yeah. This often overlooked but critical piece of the puzzle.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, but this is just the beginning, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because the research we're looking at
Yeah,
goes even deeper.
it does.
It talks about how to actually measure the health and performance of these complex systems. Yes, and this is where things get really fascinating.
Okay.
We're talking about using data to uncover the hidden connections and patterns that drive innovation.
So it's like having X-ray vision for the economy.
That's a great way to put it.
Awesome. I love it. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
let's do it.
Okay, data. Deep dive time. I gotta admit, whenever I hear the words data analysis,
Yeah,
my eyes kind of glaze over a little bit.
I know what you mean.
But this research uses data to understand these ecosystems,
Yeah,
and it's anything but boring.
it's fascinating.
Yeah. So tell me
We're
more.
moving beyond just like counting startups or patents in a region.
Right. Because
Yeah.
those numbers don't really tell the whole story.
No, they don't. They just scratch the surface.
Exactly.
This research goes deeper, looking at the relationships,
Okay.
the interactions,
Mhm.
the flow of resources,
Got it.
all the things that traditional metrics just miss.
So instead of counting trees, we're looking at the whole forest.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
I like that.
And the tools they're using to do this are really impressive.
Okay.
We're talking about like relational databases
Okay.
that link massive data sets.
Like what kind of data sets?
So things like the System for Award Management or
Yeah.
SAM.
Sam.
Yeah,
Okay.
and U.S. spending.
Hold on back up a sec. Sam, U.S. spending, what are those?
So these are government databases
But-
that track things like federal contracts and grants.
Okay.
And by connecting this data with information about companies, universities, research institutions,
Yeah.
we can start to see that web of relationships.
Okay, so we're like piecing together a giant jigsaw puzzle.
Exactly.
Each piece is like a different player in the ecosystem.
That's right. And when you start putting those pieces together,
Yeah.
you see these patterns and connections
Okay.
that you'd never notice if you were just looking at individual pieces.
Got it. So like, for example,
Yeah.
we could track a company that gets an SBIR grant from the government.
Right.
And then we can see how that funding helps them develop a new technology. Maybe partner with the university for research,
Yes.
and then ultimately land a big government contract.
Exactly. We can see that whole journey
Wow.
unfold in the data.
That's amazing.
And that level of detail is what makes this research so valuable.
Yeah.
It lets us understand these ecosystems in a whole new way.
Okay, so that's really cool.
Yeah.
But what does it all mean?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah, like how can we actually use this knowledge?
How can you use it?
Yeah.
I think the applications are really broad.
Okay.
So let's start with entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Imagine you're thinking about launching a new business.
Yeah.
Understanding these ecosystems
Huh?
can help you make those critical decisions,
Like what kind of decisions?
like where to locate your business, for instance.
Oh, right. Location.
Exactly. You can identify regions
Yeah.
that have a strong ecosystem
Okay.
for your particular industry,
Got it.
where there's access to talent funding and government support.
So it's like choosing the right habitat for your startup.
Exactly. And you can also tailor your business strategy
Okay.
to leverage the specific strengths of that ecosystem.
So, like, are there certain government programs you could tap into?
Yes.
Partnerships with universities?
Right.
Okay.
Knowing these things can give you a real competitive advantage.
So it's like a roadmap, but not just showing the roads, but like the whole landscape.
That's a perfect analogy.
I like that one.
And it's not just for entrepreneurs.
Okay. Cool.
It's also super useful for investors.
Investors, because they're always looking for the next big thing.
The next big thing.
Right,
okay?
the companies that are going to disrupt industries,
Yeah.
generate huge returns.
Massive returns. And understanding these ecosystems can help investors identify those promising opportunities.
So they can spot regions and sectors
Yes.
that are ready for innovation.
That are ripe for it.
Got it.
Where all the right factors are coming together
Yeah.
to create that fertile ground for startup growth.
Okay, so they're not just chasing hype. They're
Well,
making informed decisions.
based on a deep understanding
Yeah,
of what's driving that innovation.
I like that a lot.
Good.
But it's not just entrepreneurs and investors, right?
No, they're right.
Policymakers can also benefit from this.
Absolutely. In fact, policymakers have a crucial role
Okay.
in shaping these ecosystems.
Because they're the ones who create the conditions
Yes.
for innovation to thrive.
They set the rules, provide the funding, foster the collaborations
Okay.
that make these ecosystems successful.
So understanding these ecosystems helps them make better decisions.
It allows them to design more effective programs, target their resources better,
Yeah.
and measure the impact of their initiatives more accurately.
So it's like a feedback loop.
Yeah.
The more we understand,
Yeah.
the better we can support, and the more they can drive economic growth.
Exactly. It all feeds back into itself.
I love that.
Yeah.
But here's what really struck me. And I think this is like the big aha moment for our listeners.
What is it?
Even if you're not an entrepreneur or an investor or a policymaker,
Yeah.
this knowledge is still valuable.
It is so valuable because
Yeah.
it gives you a whole new way to understand the world around you.
Because we're all part of these ecosystems.
We are, whether we realize it or not.
Whether we realize it or not.
We live in communities, we work in industries, we're all affected by government policies.
Yeah.
We're all connected to these networks of innovation and economic activity.
So understanding this stuff helps us understand how the world works,
It really does.
how ideas become reality,
Yeah.
how the future is being shaped.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Wow.
It's like having X-ray vision.
Yeah.
For the economy, you can see the underlying structures, the connections.
Flows of resources and talent.
Yes, all of it driving growth and change.
You know, it's fascinating to think about these ecosystems like as living, breathing things.
Yeah,
They're constantly like evolving and adapting
absolutely.
and responding to these new challenges, opportunities.
It's a dynamic process for sure.
And one of the most interesting parts, I think, is this increasing globalization of these ecosystems.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
So, you know, the research we've been looking at, it mainly focuses on the U.S.,
Yeah,
but what about the rest of the world?
right. What about them?
How do these entrepreneurial ecosystems work in other countries?
Yeah.
You know, countries with different cultures, political systems, economic realities.
It's a great question. I find that really intriguing.
Yeah.
Are the same principles at play globally?
Right.
Do governments have different roles?
Yeah. Are there things we can learn from?
Right.
Successful ecosystems in Asia or Europe.
Exactly.
You know, we hear about these incredible tech hubs
Yeah.
emerging in like Singapore, Tel Aviv, Estonia.
All over the place.
What's fueling their success?
Right. Are they following the same playbook as Silicon Valley?
Are they doing their own thing?
Yeah. Or are they forging a totally new path?
Those are great questions.
They are. And it shows
Yeah.
how much more there is to explore
Right.
in this whole field.
We've just scratched the surface.
We really have just scratched the surface,
Understanding these complex systems.
both domestically and globally.
And that brings up another interesting point.
Okay, what's that?
You know, we're talking about globalization,
Yeah.
and it makes me wonder, how interconnected are all these ecosystems?
That's a great question.
You know, because we live in this like
Yeah.
super interconnected world now
Right.
with ideas, capital, and talent
Mm-hmm.
just flowing across borders
It's credible.
like never before.
All the time.
So these entrepreneurial ecosystems,
Yeah.
they don't exist in isolation.
I can't.
They're all connected.
So are we seeing these global entrepreneurial ecosystems emerge,
I think we are.
where startups might be based in one country,
Yeah.
but collaborating with institutions in another,
Mm-hmm.
receiving funding from investors, like on a whole other continent.
Yeah. And then selling their products globally.
That's exactly what we're seeing.
Wow, that's amazing.
And it raises all sorts of questions
Yeah.
about how we measure and understand these systems.
Right, because it's like,
Yeah.
it's already complex,
Yeah.
and then we're adding this whole other layer.
We're taking it to a whole new level.
It's like we're not looking at a forest anymore. We're looking at like this interconnected biosphere of innovation.
That's a great way to put it.
Right.
And it highlights the challenges and opportunities.
Yeah, like how do we even map these global networks?
That's a big one.
Identify the key notes, the flows.
Yeah. How do we understand the impact of global events on all of this?
It's a huge challenge,
It is.
but it's also super exciting
So exciting.
to think about.
Yeah, this is an area ripe for future research.
Right, we've only just begun
We've just started to scratch the surface.
to understand these complex dynamic systems.
But by looking at the data,
Right.
asking the right questions,
Mm-hmm.
and embracing this global perspective,
Yeah.
we can unlock some incredible insights.
And that's why we do this show.
It is.
It's about sparking your curiosity.
Yeah, giving you new ways to think about the world.
Inspiring you to keep learning, keep exploring.
And hopefully having some fun along the way.
Right, exactly. We covered a lot of ground today.
We did.
We talked about the definition of these ecosystems,
Yeah.
the crucial role of government,
Uh,
these data-driven approaches
Powerful stuff.
that are changing how we understand this stuff.
Yeah, revolutionizing it.
But remember,
This is just the beginning.
it is. We're just getting started.
Keep digging, keep asking questions.
Yeah, keep exploring this world.
You never know, you might be the one
Yeah.
to uncover the next big breakthrough or the next Silicon Valley.
Right before anyone else sees it coming.
Exactly.
And to help you along the way,
Yeah.
we got some links in the show notes.
Be sure to check those out
Yeah, dive deeper.
if you want to learn more. Until next time.
Happy learning.